in the Lord and can grow deeper roots. We talked about praying with your spouse. The simple acronym is ACTS. Pretty much every Sunday morning, if you listen to my prayer, I do adoration, confession, thanksgiving, supplication is the big word, but that's praying for other people. Pray with your spouse. Pray with somebody else who is significant in your life. And that prayer is such an intimate part of a relationship. Prayer, really, I believe this wholeheartedly. Prayer in that spiritual relationship is even more intimate than the sexual relationship, because it's a sharing of the Spirit with each other, and it's sharing that relationship with Jesus Christ with someone else. And keep your covenant. If you're married, keep your covenant to your spouse, husband or wife. By keeping your covenant, we can build that family relationship. And if you're single, keep the covenant of abstinence between you and God, so that there is that relationship between you and God. So when the person that God has for you comes into your life, there's a stronger foundation there. Okay, so we looked at those 5 from last week. We're going to do these next 5 this morning. Number 6 is romance your spouse. Romance your spouse. Hopefully, Sue and I in January or so will do the marriage weekend that we did for the Air Guard. It's not me, but it's a video series, an amazing video series on marriage weekends. Talks a lot about romancing your spouse. Talks about getting to know who your spouse is. It's been quite a few years that I've done a teaching out of the Song of Solomon. I mean, if you think Bible doesn't talk about sexuality or talk about relationships and the physical aspects of relationships, read the Song of Solomon. And if you don't understand it, come and talk to me. It's pretty graphic, pretty amazing. But what's so amazing with it is that the author, the Song of Solomon, King Solomon, studied the woman, and the woman studies the man. And they refer to each other in all these different type of languages or words. He calls the woman a mare or a lily, or that her hair is like the snow on the mountain, and her teeth are white like sheep. I don't know if you want your teeth white like sheep, but I mean, there's all these word pictures that the king gives about the woman. And the woman that he's in love with says that her man has a sacket of myrrh, and he's like the apple tree, and he's got fruits, sweet fruit, and he's a gazelle. Okay, you can understand what she's talking about there, but in the marriage relationship. Romance your spouse. Date your spouse. Try to set aside, if you're married, try to set aside one day a week that you do something together, just you and your spouse. Whether it's going to a movie, whether it's going for a walk, going for a bike ride, going for a jog, going for kayaking, whether it's playing golf, whatever it is, focus on your spouse. Study your spouse. Here's a question, right there. Could you write down 3 things that you know will show love to your soulmate? How many of us could do that if you're married or if you're in a dating relationship? Could you actually write down 3 things that are important to your soulmate? Some of you probably could. I see a few heads going up and down. Some of you are just sort of sitting there with the deer in the headlight look. Like, you want us to do what, Pastor? We've been married for 40 years. We don't need to date or romance our spouse. Oh, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. So once you figure that out, then make them possible. And get away for the weekend. But come back for Sunday morning. Now, I cannot tell you. I know I said it last week. I thanked all of you for allowing myself to have those 2 Sundays off when I was on the trial, in that process of the court trial. Sue and I got away one of those Sundays. awesome experience. Went up to Traverse City. Did I share this already? Went up to Traverse City. Labor Day weekend. Here's a hint. Never go to Traverse City on Labor Day weekend without reservations. Did I share that? Yeah, we're on the way up there. We have no reservations. It's like, okay, God, where are we staying? In the car? But get away. Know who your spouse is. And the thing is, studies show, biblically, it's true, and the studies show that when a relationship, a husband and a wife relationship, or if you're single, your relationship with Jesus Christ is strong, the kids' relationship can be stronger with Jesus Christ. Do you follow with that? Kids model us. I modeled my mom and dad. Kids model us. Romance your spouse. Get away together. And the warmer and the more intimate your relationship is, the better you will function as a team if you're married with your children. Or the better that you'll function as a team if you're single with Jesus Christ. Because if you're not connected to Christ and you're single, you're not going to be a team with your kids if you're not connected. If you're married and you're not connected in romance, spiritually, physically, with your spouse, you're not going to be there for the kids. The kids are going to notice. They're going to see. Number 7. Give your children you. We have been sold a bill of goods when we get taught kids just need quality time. So I'm really busy, but I give them quality time one night a week. Kids don't understand quality time. Kids need more than that. Rick read for us, starting off the worship service, Jeremiah 31:3. I have loved you with an everlasting love. Therefore, I have drawn you with loving kindness. God doesn't just give us quality time. He gives us all the time. He gives us all the time that we need, all the time that we desire. Well, 3 simple T's. Quality and quantity time. First one, time. Oops. As I do the laser back there to point at the screen, like you guys can see it. Okay, first one is time. Time. I grew up with my dad being a pastor, and it was always interesting because I modeled after my old man, my father. Again, that's a term of endearment when I call him that. His office door was always open to the 5 of us kids. It may have been shut. He may have been in deep conversation with somebody, counseling, but if we needed something and we called, the secretary would always get them. Or if we stopped at church, we could always go into his office. He was always willing to give us the time. So my question for you, those of you that work, are you willing to give your kids the time? Because you see, the strange thing is, it's usually kids don't want the time when it's convenient to us. They want it when it's convenient to them. Teenagers tend to want it more at 11 o'clock at night or 11:30 at times, because that's when they at times like to talk. And we want to go to sleep, but they want to talk. Give them the time. We're called to give the time because time it's finite. We only have so much time. Ardra Haas, and I know I've said this before, but Ardra, my secretary that was here for about 7-8 years, she used to say that life is like a roll of toilet paper. I love this phrase. Life is like a roll of toilet paper. The closer you get to the center of the roll, the faster the roll spins. Time. Take advantage of the time that we have with our families. And not like the song, who sang it? Cats in the Cradle. Cat Stevens, yeah. Yep, Cats in the Cradle with a silver spoon, little boy blue as a man on the moon. When you coming home, son? I don't know when. We'll get together then, Dad. And then when the son grows up in the song, the dad says, come home. And the son says, hey, Dad, I'm busy. My wife's got the flu.